time over here now.
News as it happens.
Let me tell you something.
When you need to know.
Need to know now.
People want to know.
People want to know. People want to know.
What is going on in the world today?
Tampa Bay's 24-hour news source.
When you need to know.
Need to know. News Talk 1040 Tampa Bay.
So here's a phenomenal story that you don't know as a listener, that my next guest does not know but will absolutely positively appreciate. So let's get that out of the way first and foremost. A two-sport star, the Bo Jackson of media. Okay, got famous at MTV, got more famous at Fox News. I think it's impossible to calculate the actual global reach of your fame because I've been to some of your parties and there are people represented, when I say every walk of life, and some crawls of life. Not even walks of life. Most of these people can't walk.
Yeah.
And it's not because of any type of debilitating injury. It's usually alcohol. But the K train has rolled into the station. Kennedy's here. The crowd gets nuts. Hey, girl.
At our last 4th of July party, there was a young woman named Kobe who had tattoos and pins in her face. I don't know where she came from. It's like, hey, Kobe.
It's California. She probably came from the state legislature.
The mayor of Santa Monica.
That would explain the fentanyl smell. But no, it's always great. And Kennedy, you want to talk about inclusion. This is why none of that stuff ever clicks with us when they're yelling about DEI and everything else. We're not anti-anything.
No.
But there is no one alive more inclusive than our body of work. Would you not say?
I absolutely would say, and to be inclusive is also to make fun of everything.
Yes.
When you make fun of things when you're a bigot, you're scared of them. Mm-hmm. When you're inclusive, you make fun of everything because that is literally your job on earth.
Yes, thank you. And when you put one class of people off to the kiddie table like an infantilized lesser than, it's not equality. It's not equality. Equality is when everyone is in the splash zone. This sounds like I'm pleading my case at HR again. I was allowed to say that. The reason I said it...
Unfortunately, splash zone for you is literal.
Yeah. Hey, who let Louis C.K. in here? What's going on? So we're talking to Kennedy. You'll appreciate this as a cigar enthusiast.
Oh, yes.
The other night, the great Tom Cuddy, legend at WOR. Mm-hmm. We went to Patsy's on 56. Great. Obviously the home of Frank Sinatra and a lot of other, obviously, mainstream A-list celebrities have eaten there over the years because Frank kind of put them on the map when they opened in 1944. He went there for about 50 years.
Amazing.
The family, that was his go-to restaurant. He had his private party room.
Wow.
Sal, the owner, told me this incredible story about the Yankees won the World Series in 1977. On the night they won the World Series, a very passionate Billy Martin called down and demanded the party room, but Sinatra was in it. But the Yankees partied with Sinatra till the break of dawn, but he pulled a Kennedy. This is what I love about this.
Oh, that's awesome.
Kennedy does a thing at parties, okay? And you need to know this is true. I do it, but I don't do it on your level. They tee up the wildest celebration you've ever seen. It looks like a Harlem Shake video. And while one guy's playing a bass drum, there's a woman in a Viking helmet, a guy swinging on a love swing. She just leaves and goes to bed.
It's true.
So in the height of all of this revelry, Reggie Jackson's doing handstands, keg stands, Billy Martin's punching a hobo. Frank Sinatra goes home.
Yeah.
And the party ends and they all want to see Sinatra, take a picture. Some of them got a picture at some point during the night, but they didn't get the climactic New York with Sinatra, but he just paid their check and quietly left.
Oh, that's amazing.
Pro move.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of...
Yeah, I've no shame in the game. Like one of my personal mottos is no one should die of politeness.
Yes.
And I was in Portland, Oregon this last weekend seeing my family, and they are going to die of politeness in their cars.
Yeah.
Like they wait too long for the light, for someone else to turn. It's agonizing.
Yeah.
And, it's like, if you're tired and if it's your own party, like if you're polite, you stay up till 4 a.m. It's like, no, I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. That way I can wake up at a normal time and clean up and feel great.
Amen. Not only is it okay to pull an Irish goodbye, I pull an Irish hello. Like, I just won't even show. Come on.
Yeah, I've seen you do that. We were moving from one venue to another, and a younger staffer was like, hey, Jimmy, we're going to Dos Equis or Dos Caminos.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to Dos Caminos. And you're like, great, I just got to move my car. He's like, awesome, we'll see you over there. He's like, but I didn't tell him as I was moving my car to Long Island.
Oh, that's what happened. It was Ben.
Yes.
Ben Norbitz. So I said to Ben, I just found a parking spot. It's on Long Island. And he didn't get what that meant. He was just like, that sounds far. Like I was coming back. Like, I don't know how long that's going to take. But yeah, sometimes you got to pull a Sinatra.
Yes.
You got to do it my way, I guess.
So a woman just wrote an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal in defense of the Irish goodbye.
I love this woman.
And she is an etiquette expert. And she said it's actually, you know, if you are at a party with gracious hosts, it's rude to look at your watch on your way out.
Yeah.
Because it seems like you don't want to be there. When you rush the goodbye, that is actually more rude than the host going, oh, did Jimmy leave? We saw him. Like, you know you saw him. And that's the point. You make contact with the host. You have a very warm hello. And then you make your way through the party and you get out of there whenever you need to.
Amen. I mean, I think that's why hookers are so popular. It's you don't pay them to show up, you pay them to leave. Isn't that what they say? That's the old adage.
That's what it said.
Somebody told me that at my camp once. So like, you don't pay them to show up, you pay them to leave. I was like, oh,
that seems very Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen famously dated a porn star and said it was so difficult going back to civilian women.
Yeah.
He said it was like going from a ribeye to ground beef.
All the seasoning in the world. It's a different world. I know this conversation does sound a little highbrow for this show, but Kennedy is in studio. We're chopping it up. We're having the conversation. Vince Vaughn was on with Theo Vaughn, no relation. Theo Vaughn and I had the same college agent back in the day. People listening in Utica, they would know GP College Entertainment, Tim Moyer, Rich Nicodem, great guys.
Utica Greens.
They book Utica Greens with greatest dishes ever made. And those guys booked like comedians, you know, spray painters, you know, hypnotists, stuff like that. They also booked the cast of Road Rules. And Theo was a Road Rules guy. You know,
was he really?
Yes. You know who else was in a season? Yes, he was. You know who else in a season of Road Rules? Obviously, Sean and Rachel Campos Duffy.
Yeah.
I did not meet them when I was on the college circuit, but I knew Theo Vaughn. He was a little nutty, nice enough guy.
He was in my college class.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, we had a history class together when I was at Santa Monica College, and it must have been the fall of 2001.
Oh, that's funny. So I knew him, and if we're going to put it there, I probably knew him then in 04, 05.
Okay.
So
yes, he had not been on road. He was just like 19 at the time.
Yeah.
And we were in Mr. Cavill's world history class, and Mr. Cavill hated everyone in the class except for me and Theo. And at the time, he was just a kid. He was not a comic. I didn't know. He was just in my study group because we actually cared about the class. And he just had like a weird way of looking at things that the history professor liked and would call on both of us a lot. And I would sit in the front and be like, I know, pick on me. And he'd be like, literally anyone but her. The guy with the mullet and the southern accent, please save me from this moment.
I love that he called you the human mood ring because he didn't want to say spectrum, you know. It's like the mood ring and C2. But yeah, so I met Theo at a time when I know nobody likes a show off, but I was performing at noon in a lot of colleges. Stand-up comedy when you're performing at noon at a commuter school, because they're in the cafeteria because they're killing time between classes and they're coming and going.
I've been there.
I know, and they don't even know there's going to be comedy. So it's basically like you're street performing. You're performing in the park for all intents and purposes. Yeah, straight up. I once did...
I mean, is there anything that makes you a better comic, though?
No, that's the point.
But that... Like, when you go into a room now and people are paying to see you and they're excited,
it's easy. The wind's
even if they've seen a set before, like they're excited for those jokes to unfold, like so enthusiastic. But when you are dealing with a group of people who don't want to laugh, they didn't pay for it, and they're going to push back.
Yeah. It's comedy ambush. And I always say this to people. You know, in boxing, they go, it's not what your record is, it's who you fought. That is absolutely stand-up. And you can tell who got famous as like an actor and then ventured into comedy because they never played a hard room. So this brings me full circle because we're coming up on the anniversary of something, and that's why I brought this up. Kramer, Michael Dean Richards from Seinfeld, was famously at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick. Not far from
Is that where he had his racist meltdown?
Yes! Oh. Not far from where our college associate Kylie is going to school right now. She was not there that night. She just wrote his act. I'm kidding. That's not true. But he had gone on stage after Johnny Sanchez, I believe his name was the MC that night. Good Spanish kid, did a lot of like Puerto Rican Spanish ethnic humor, crushed, murdered. And Kramer showed up and was like, I want to go on stage. And he was like, do me a favor. You know, I'm a comic tonight. You don't have to mention Seinfeld. I'm just going to be a performer.
Oh, dear God.
And he just thought the very sight of him would endear him to so much laughter, but it was a hot room. But he went on stage after saying, you know, disassociate me from Seinfeld by doing a stumbling pratfall and wiping out the mic stand and the stool. And everybody was like, what is this? And then he just got on stage, got frustrated with a heckler.
Did he not have material?
None. And then he got on stage because, again, he was used to doing Hollywood rooms.
Okay.
Where if you showed up as a Hollywood person, the mere sight of you.
No, Laugh Factory, Comedy Store. Like, that's when you're visiting LA, like, you go to those
you
spots
hope to see him.
You know, like, you see all the pictures on the wall and you hear, like, you're not going to, like, Martin Lawrence came up last night at 10:30 and he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God. Like, I would love to see a famous person.
Yes. But if you're actually doing comedy at the Stress Factory where the guy middling just got out of prison and is really hungry and has real jokes, like primal material, you can't hang. You don't get the grace. You get 5 minutes. Seinfeld says this in Comedian. See, it doesn't matter who you are. He's like, if you're doing comedy anywhere in the East Coast in New York City, he's like, you got 5 minutes of, oh, it's nice to see you. He's like, but 5 minutes and 1 second, if you're not funny, they don't care.
Wow.
So Kramer, unfortunately, didn't have the 1 minute, let alone the 5, and bombed within an inch of his life. And the truth is, it's because he never had to develop chops. Chops in comedy, as you know, are what do you do when the joke doesn't work? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You acknowledge it and make fun of the fact that it didn't work. Make fun of the crowd, make fun of yourself, but they don't know how to do that. So that's the bigger problem. It's not your record, guys. It's who you follow.
I mean, but I can't imagine someone like that getting on stage and not being able to handle a heckler.
He just was so...
That seems like your primary job.
Yeah, but he was probably so entitled to adulation, playing soft rooms.
Yeah, he made too much money for too long.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I mean, your life is soft at that point.
It is.
Like, you think you're still the guy, but you have a massage therapist, you have 2 assistants, you have, you're probably an AA. Like, they have rounded off all the pointy edges in your life.
Amen.
And that's what you pay people for.
Yeah.
But you think that you still have the edge, and you go somewhere like that, and you are a sphere.
Yeah, because you can't fight for it. So which brings me full circle to my point about Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn was on with Theo Vaughn. He made a point that has been made 3 trillion times in the last 5 years of media, which is that a lot of left-wing late-night hosts have become like a one-note partisan lecture nobody wants to watch anymore. I don't want to sit here and do 5 minutes of go woke, go broke. I'm always trying to find some type of productive, way forward. What these guys should be doing is like Kimmel, Colbert, if they were truly interested, which I don't think they are, is they should start having some opposition guests on. Just for no other reason than they'll learn to tell a different type of joke. And it would make these shows more watchable.
Phil Donahue used to have Milton Friedman on.
Yeah.
And it was some of the most fascinating conversations because Phil Donahue was a big city liberal. And he would push Milton Friedman. He's like, you can't possibly believe that there shouldn't be a welfare state. And Milton Friedman always had like a comeback. And it was like, you wanted to watch both of them because they were both like, Milton Friedman was incredibly knowledgeable. Phil Donahue was very passionate.
Yes.
And it was his audience. It's his show. And, but they still found a way to have a conversation. Like, I would love to see that.
That's what I mean. And on those shows, it would do really well. I'm not asking them to book us, but that's who they should book because it would actually be funny because you could have a comedic point counterpoint and it wouldn't be what it is now because the coexistence thing in comedy is so valuable. And it's valuable because the friction is what generates the jokes. Think about like iconic sitcoms, The Odd Couple. Think of like All in the Family. What is the driving point? It's Meathead, Rob Reiner and Archie Bunker. Okay. And the point is they don't agree and you get better comedy out of that. And when I was a cab driver, that was the funniest thing is everything that was like, quote, cancelable in comedy is how people made friends in a taxi garage. Because if you were from a different part of the world, all you knew were the stereotypes about the other races. So when they heard I was Polish, every joke was a Polish joke. It's crazy, but that's how that comedy coexistence is where good comedy happens. And that's what makes me sad about these late night shows because like yourself, I'm a product of watching those shows. I mean, you've been on these shows. It sucks to see them suck. And I don't want to be here as like a wag the finger, I told you so. I don't think it's good.
Okay, but here's the thing I will say about those shows because I was on with Jay Leno twice.
Yeah, you were.
They are so like produced.
Yeah, they are. The interviews are scripted.
It was painful because they go over the questions that Jay's going to ask in your story. It's like, okay, give me the story again. And after being on the first time, I was like, I watched it so differently because I'm like, oh, everything is a setup. And so when there were actual spontaneous moments, like Crispin Glover almost kicking David Letterman in the head, you're like, oh, this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like when someone goes off script and goes rogue, that's when like there was real magic because you're a little bit scared.
Yeah, you were watching.
They don't have any of that. And all of these guys are way too overpaid.
Yeah.
And that's why Colbert was canceled. It's not because Trump's president.
Yep.
It's because, it costs $200 million a year to produce a show that makes like $80 million in ad revenue.
They'd be lucky. Yeah. And they used to be able to tolerate that at networks because the ratings for late night were so big that it would become a promotional vehicle for the rest of your lineup. And they lost money on these shows in the past,
people
but never at this level.
would go to bed, turn off the TV on NBC and wake up with the Today Show.
Yes.
And just turn the TV on in their bedroom
Yep.
and start getting ready for their day. And that was the bridge.
Yeah, that's not happening anymore.
No.
Now they turn off their TV and they go to an anti-ICE protest. And then they go to a No Kings rally. It's bananas. It doesn't make sense. We have more Kennedy, whether she likes it or not. Don't go
I
away.
like it.
It's the #1 show with humans and animals.
Nice beaver.
Thank you. I just had it stuffed.
Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla.
You're listening to Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla. Stay informed with news at the top and bottom of every hour. News, information, and talk. News Talk 1040 WHBO.
There it is, Fox Across America with Jimmy Failla. Kennedy's in the house. The K-Train working overtime.
That's
She works
right.
hard for the money. So you better treat her right.
Better treat me right, you so... Yeah.
Do you remember that video? It was a Donna Summer, right? And they were all dancing. That's videos. There was this thing it was specifically the 80s that they'd get a song going and then it would just be like the Rocky jog to the Philadelphia Art Museum. By the end of the video, the whole town was dancing behind them.
That's right.
It's very much what it was. Everybody just wanted to be Rocky. Is that where we lost our way?
Yeah, because they realize that being Rocky is a lot of work. Life is not a montage, unfortunately. It's a slog.
It's not all that famous BJ he was caught on tape getting in the 90s.
Don't look at me, look at it.
Sylvester Stallone. Shout out to the old fun Howard Stern who had Kennedy on.
Yeah.
He fired a bunch of staffers. It upset me. Fired 25 guys. He just signed his new deal. They laid off a bunch of people. Not cool. But there was a fun Howard. And me and you are always on the radio in the 2 minutes we have right now. We're never doing the go woke, go broke. I don't root for anything to fail. I want things to be good.
Yeah,
I want to have
exactly.
fun.
And not everything has to succeed, but you do want things to be enjoyable. That's how I've always felt. We're getting on a big rocket ship and we're all going somewhere awesome.
Yeah.
Get on board.
The Great Space Coaster.
Exactly right.
I used to watch the Great Space Coaster back in the day. It's funny because you don't realize it in real time, but all children's program is written and produced by people who've dropped acid. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
No, I'm telling you, we're going to have this purple singing dinosaur. It's going to show up in the living room.
Yeah, even the electric company was
Yeah.
very electric.
Does anybody look back on the Teletubbies and think there weren't hallucinogens
Or even
involved?
Yo Gabba Gabba.
I love Yo Gabba Gabba is probably the furthest one out there.
Yeah.
But I did love some Peppa Pig.
They were brilliant, though, because them and SpongeBob finally started producing children's programming that stoned parents would also just eat up.
That's another point, is that the kids are usually falling asleep 5 minutes in. Who's sitting around watching? That's a really good point.
Yeah, I realized that when I have a really good friend in LA who is a giant stoner. And I was taking the girls to see the SpongeBob movie.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, oh, yeah, I saw last week. It's really good. I'm like, oh, who'd you go? He was like, by myself. I was like, oh, that's the brilliance of SpongeBob. That never occurred to me.
Yeah, I mean, right. You can walk 2 blocks to Times Square right now. They have SpongeBob no pants. He's standing right out there. Yeah, if you've never been groped.
Free balling.
I know. It's so funny. The modern Times Square furry, the naked cowboy's overdressed in that scenario. Guys, the Kennedy Saves the World podcast. It's streaming everywhere every day. Go get it or you're dead to me.
I'll save you.
You are the best thing on the radio.